Look here, someone who's been following that conference very closely is Olivia Feld. She's the senior US technology reporter for the Telegraph newspaper, and she joins me on the line now from San Francisco. Hey, listen, rather you than me have to sit through all of that, but I gather that this two-day event is split into two. The second day is very, very geeky, but today was more like for people like you and me. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. Today we had a number of big keynote speeches from company executives, including Google's CEO, and a whole lot of new announcements for consumers like you and I.
So, two new phones, I'm told. What's different about them?
Yeah, well, the two new Android phones are terribly exciting. They're two new Google Pixel phones. They're called the 3A and the 3A XL, excuse me, and they're very exciting for consumers because they are much cheaper than similar models we've seen from Google in the past. They start at $399 US, and for that you get many of the same functionalities of previous Pixel phones. You lose some of the things that other more expensive models saw. For example, no wireless charging. They're no longer water resistant. But it is an exciting moment in terms of seeing Pixel phones and their price point significantly lower.
Yes, and I think that's one of the things that they said, wasn't it, today, that they want to make it more accessible and cheaper for people. That's part of this.
Absolutely, and this comes at a really critical time for Google and its Pixel phone sales, given the declining sales we've seen from its biggest competitor, Apple.
Right. Now, Nest, they took over within the last couple of years, I think. It's basically their security division, but I gather that they're going to bring that brand under the Google name now. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's another very interesting development. So Google obviously produces a number of Google Home products, such as the very popular smart speakers. They're in close competition with Amazon's Alexa, for example, in that product line. And what they've announced today is that they are bringing into the Google Fold, bringing Nest into the Google Fold. And Nest is its division company, which it acquired, as you mentioned, several years ago. And what they do is they create other smart home devices, things like doorbells, security for your home so that you can see who's approaching before you're able to get to the peephole yourself through the door. So it's really bringing all of those products under one umbrella.
And I read somewhere that privacy was a major theme today, as it was recently with a similar event held by Facebook. I assume they mean software privacy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we've seen a whole shrew of different conferences in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, in the last couple of weeks from all the big tech companies. We've had Microsoft's this week, we had Facebook's last week. All of them seem to be very much focusing on the theme of privacy. They're obviously looking to regain trust from consumers, given sort of the series of scandals and data leaks that we've seen. One of the ways in which Google's trying to regain our trust is it announced today that it's going to allow its users to use Google Maps in incognito mode, which a bit like the Chrome internet browser basically means that you'll be able to search maps without being tracked, and that information then won't be sort of passed on to potential advertisers.
Yeah, very important. Now, we just have a minute and a half left, so let's just run through a couple of other key things. What is focus mode? What's the point of that? This is where you turn apps off if you don't want to be disturbed, right?
Yeah, focus mode is fascinating. Again, this is something that we're really seeing a big trend of in consumer tech right now. Obviously, a lot of us are tracking our screen time and so forth on various different devices now. And Google are really seeking to capitalize on that by offering a new tool called Focus Time, which will basically allow you to effectively turn off notifications for specific apps. So instead of switching a phone off or turning off all internet signal, you'll still be able to get, say, calls and texts through, but you won't, hear from maybe your social media or emails if you choose not to.
Okay, very good. So we just have a minute or so left, in fact, less than a minute. What was the big announcement about cancer today and artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so this is really interesting. Google's looking to seriously harness its developments in artificial intelligence, and it says that it's using artificial intelligence to better read CT scans, specifically CT scans with patients with potentially early stage lung cancer. It's working on this software, which it says could potentially increase survival rates by up to 40%.
Wow.
It's quite a staggering number. We'll have to wait to see that scientific research when it's published soon, apparently in a medical journal that's forthcoming.
Very good, Olivia. Do you have to sit through day 2 tomorrow, or can you do something else tomorrow?
One of my colleagues will be down there tomorrow, but we'll be following all the developments in the Telegraph.
At the Telegraph, that's great. Okay, Olivia Feld, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.